Hey everybody, this is John here, aka Professor Bubbles, and once again, welcome to my laboratory. In today's edition, we're talking about Sword and Shield's Astral Radiance sets. Now, for those who don't understand, I haven't done a video about maybe like a couple weeks from now. I've been pondering what kind of videos that can be good input for people. I've been doing a lot for Pokemon Unite, and I'm doing back into character profiles for that one. And I'm soon going to get into the video game aspect as well, VG. But I wanted to touch base on the TG format. And so in the TG format, as you can see on my screen, you see the, the logo of the new set. You see Electro V is the first Pokemon of this set of 189. And I have my skill system here. Well, to give you an idea, is we got Pokeball being very bad, and the Master Ball being excellent. And I kind of give an idea of how I feel cards get set in place. Now, as I discuss each card, some cards I might skip or I might just call neutral because they're not worth the time unless it's the final evolution or if it has a specific ability midway of like a stage 1. For example, might have a ability that we will discuss. But overall, the idea is to go to each and every one of these cards to see how I would view them as a playable card with the new meta that's been going on. Right now, Mew is dominating across the board, not just because of his typing, just overall fast deck, consistent deck, and it's very hard for many people to go around it unless you play against his weakness. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and continue what we're doing. The first card we're going to deal with is Electro V. Now, Electro V is 210 HP, which is pretty modest for basic. For one grass, does Twin Needle. Does 2 coins flip for 40 for each heads. Not the best. It's there. I mean, then you got Swarming Sting. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each of the Electro V in play. Okay, well, it's a good idea if you have 4 Beedrills, and if you have them all on the field, you're doing 200 damage for 3 energy. It sounds like a good plan, but you gotta get the grass energy on the field in order to make the difference for that to really hit. Now I know there's a new grass supporter that came out. That's pretty good. That would help accelerate. It's like the Fire Welder back in the previous set we just had right now. What I believe the grass one does is that you have to you can play up to 2 grass energies from your hand onto one of your Pokemon, and I think you get to draw 1 card. So it's a watered down version of Welder, but it's still an effective way for grass to get its power-ups. So I would say it's a neutral card. Neutral to good. There's potential to this card depending on the support system that grass Pokemon get in the near future. Now we got ourselves the Voltor variation. Again, I love the Arceus Legendary game. It was awesome, and I love the fact this is a grass electric type. But let's go on and talk about what we do here. So for no energy, for those who don't understand, the circle gray out means no energy cost. Cheerful Charge. You can use this attack only if you go second, and during your first turn, choose up to 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for basic energy and attach it to that Pokemon to then shuffle your deck. Okay. I like the idea. So you basically you take energy for that turn, hard energy, have a couple Pokemon bench, maybe running a 4/4 of Voltor and then checking your main Pokemon. And you want to start getting them charged up as fast as you can. This one might get knocked out. That's the sacrifice one. Overall, RAM 10. It's the first attack you're going to be concerned yourself with this effect. So the fact that it's no cost energy leads me towards the good and excellent factor. Again, being a grass Pokemon for Voltor for once is a very interesting concept. And the fact that it's not a rule box, so you can do a lot of consistency with other grass supports. I'm going to rate this card in a good, excellent format because I think grass is going to be surprising very good because of Darkrai and other Dark Variation decks are weak against grass now instead of just being weak against fighting electric. Or, sorry, lightning. And then we got ourselves our Electro variation. This variation is no cost whatsoever to play. So first is triple draw for draw 3 cards, and Initiating Bomb or Irritated Bomb does 50 for no energy cost. I'm gonna say, since the 90 HP Pokemon, you get the level ball. This would be a cool, fun concept deck idea that if you don't want no energies, you could run like 4 hammers, 4 enhancer, you be a destructive cards without having to pay costs to do attacks. There's some potential. I would say it's neutral to good. Nothing more, not excellent. It's just there for a unique deck idea. It's not going to be meta, trust me. But it's just still pretty good. Next up, we got your Scyther. Again, some cards we're going to kind of skip over. I'm going to call it neutral because 1 energy does 20 at 9 HP. It's consistent. So our Premier Ball is going to be what we're going to call it there. This Scyther has 10 HP less, which I don't like compared to other Scyther we reviewed. 2 energy does Quick Blow, does 30, and flip coin of heads, you do 30 more damage. Again, I'm going to call it a neutral card because it's not bad, it's not good, but it's just there. Same thing for Yama. The nice thing about this one is, I want to say it's more towards the good Ultra Ball category. But not only for 1 energy for 20, but it has 3 retreat costs. So potentially for his evolution, Mega, which we're going to talk about right now, is very good having no retreat cost decks. I noticed there was a Pokeball later on we'll talk about that, or item card I should say, that if you switch your deck for a free retreat cost Pokemon and put it in your hand, any card that does 1-to-1 ratio is amazing. So, Mega sticks true to its awkward attacks it does. Wide Wing, 40 plus, and does 80 more damage if you and your opponent have the same number of cards in your hand. You play N, you play Marnie and play 1 extra card. And there's different ways you can go around that bout. In terms of his energy cost, if it was 1 energy, it would be amazing. But since you really got that turbo energy, it's really doing 100 damage. So I'll put it as between Premier and Ultra Ball in my view. It's a good card. It's not excellent, and it's not terrible either. So it's neutral. And you notice how I also left my Great Ball and Ultra Ball as bad or good in between the 2 classifications. And there's a reason why. It's because it's the open interpretation between those 3 main sets. So Pokeball, Premier Ball, Master Ball. This card, I know some people are going to argue about with me about this one, but I honestly feel that Heracross is an excellent card, a Master Ball category card. And now here's my reason why. Heracross, 110 HP. Horn Attack is not what we're going to talk about it, but it's his overhead throw. For 2 grass and 1 color, it does 120 damage and does 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Doesn't seem like a lot, right? Well, think about it this way. You can run it with some grass support that helps accelerate, I think it's the Logan? No, it's Sharon. That can just accelerate the grass energy at will. For 1 prize, you do 120 damage. Plus, you have a choice belt. So if you're hitting V Pokemon, you're hitting 150. Hitting weakness, knockouts. Plus, Pokemon setup for next turn. So, I honestly believe that this Heracross, this variation of it, is a very, very good variation of a card. Yes, Retreat is 2, it's not always that great, but I still think excellent wise for a single prizer, it's going to be reckoned with because of the grass. Quick attack. Let's see, trip over, flip heads, yeah, again, this is some cards I'm just going to skip over. And it's not because I don't want to talk about them. It's just more towards they're not the main card of that support. So Kricketune it is. So this Kricketune has 9 HP, which is great for level ball variation decks and 1 prizers. But it has an ability called Swelling Tune. Your grass Pokemon play, except for Kricketune, except any Kricketune, gets 40 plus HP. You can only apply more than 1 Swelling Tune ability at a time. So you can only play 1 of these. You can't stack it. It's not like Venusaur or some other one very grass in the past that have stacking power abilities. Now, this card is still good. And the only downside is it doesn't apply its own effect to itself, so it's still at 9 HP. It would have been great if it could add that 40 HP to make it survive a little higher. But nevertheless, the add 40 HP, especially to like your Heracross that had 120, now they have 160. It puts them in contingency for single prize Pokemon, especially Grass, to give a nice heal. So I would definitely put this in a good Ultra Ball in the midst between Ultra Ball and a Master Ball. It could be a 1/1 of in the deck, just there, just to play. It plays on bench, and that extra HP could be vital in certain situations. Combi. Like I said, some cards I might talk about, some cards I don't. I love Combi. I think when I first saw it, I knew it was going to be a not good Pokemon, but I just love the concept of it. So Combi does 1 grass energy, Honey Carrier. Search your deck for an item, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Bug Bite 20. Okay. As long as they don't marning you, you can get a setup. Not bad. Vespiquen is... I'm going to find this one interesting, because I did not read ahead of time the Sweet Honey card. I'm sure there's some healing factor for that. But basically, Vespiquen has 120 and 1 retreat, which I wish I had no retreat. It would been great. But anyways, for 1 grass energy, it does 60 damage. Reveal any number of Sweet Honey cards from your hand. It's like the 60 damage for each card you reveal this way. So if you have 4, which is the max you have in a deck for tools, items, etc., you can do 240 damage. I think Vespiquen is going to be a good to excellent again. It's a grass Pokemon because Dark is going to be played a lot. It's going to be shine because you don't need to have 4. You can have 2 cards in your hand against those grass Pexy fast Pokemon and get a Choice Spell, and you're doing 150, 300 damage and 2 prizes. So we got Leafeon. Okay, here we go. So for 110 HP, 1 colorless energy Garden. Search your deck for 3 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like, then shuffle your deck. And another attack is Leafeon Cyclone for 120. Okay. I would say that this card does have potential. I wish that the Leafy Cyclone was doing some bench damage, kind of like a Heracross variation. But his Energy Guardian is... If you're willing to sacrifice prize for the shot of energy acceleration, this card with a Kecleon or any kind of deck that deals with multiple energy, or even colors Pokemon decks that just want to pile energy on the field, I believe we're going to see some good concepts with this. It'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to call this neutral to good. It's not a bad card. Yes, high retreat. There's 2 retreat costs. And usually Leafeon does have usually a 2 retreat cost to it. But overall, it's a Premier Ball to Ultra Ball card. Oh, here we go. We got our Shaman. I love the artwork on Shaman. It's awesome. So, what Shaman does is an encouraging gift. For 1 color, so you use the attack only if you go second and only during your first turn. Search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them in your hand, shuffle your deck. See, again, I don't like these kind of attacks because you go second, you're going to need 4 Shamans to consistently make sure you get the right one off. And then you are basically hoping your opponent doesn't play Marnie, because then you just lost your attack. So I'm going to put this as my first Great Ball. I just don't think it's a good card. Again, Patel, we're going to switch to the Lilligants, the new form of it. So, it has 110 HP, 1 retreat cost with Ghostfire. Again, so you're doing with grass right now. And it has Twisted Loots. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, so here's my problem with this card. I'm thinking to myself, I want to play the Turbo Energy. Well, you could. Problem is that since this attack his effect is doing the damage, that means you do no damage. So make sure you understand that right. Do not play turbo with this. You have to play it's a hard grass energy or whatever other basic energy you're going to throw on that attack. Least step is okay. So depending on how you want to build your deck, this is a decent card. It would be great if it was just a 1 energy. So I'm going to put in the Great Ball, Premier Ball category. Now, the V version of Logan is a little different. Now, for 200 HP, it has a a free cost attack called Dance Gracefully. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in hand. Not a bad way to start off at the very beginning and get some more extra cards if you draw your cards out. So I'll say this is a Premier Ball, the good ball, Ultra Ball. And the V-Star variation has actually pretty consistency. I like the 6 HP, better than 250, 1 retreat cost. Start Perfumes is ability. During your turn, you may switch your deck for up to 5 in any combination with Grass Pokemon and Grass Energy cards or villains your opponent put in your hand. Wow, okay. So, Grass Pokemon, here we go. We just got ourselves just stupendous card. Wow, okay. Turtonator is going to have a handful with this. And the reason why I say it like that is because you can use this to grab a bunch of grass energy, get your 4 of that, 3 Lilligant V-Stars. But are you really playing Lilligant V-Star? It's just the thing I don't like about V-Star Lilligant, because the energy exhaustion depends on that supporter for 2 grass energy in your hand. Well, I guess you could justify saying you have the supporter and you pick up 2 grass energy from that bout and you slap it down because you put it on the field that way. It does 130 and you put energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. And if you do 100 more damage. Okay. I'm going to consider this card Ultra Ball to Master Ball, and this is my reasons why. You need the supporter to get this thing going. 3 energies is not good. So even if you're doing 230, it's great. And you pull the energy back, so you're not losing all the energies. And his ability is what's making this card excellent, especially for grass support. It's just an amazing ability overall. But here's the problem. You have to have that supporter to make this thing viable. You know, that's one of the key things. So grass decks is a good card to try out. Maybe like a 2-2 lineup of it, so you can evolve it to get that ability going off. But then for single Primus decks, then you're relying on your Turtonator to do the damage necessary you need to do. So that's the best way I can put it. Again, we're gonna skip the Rowlet, Dartrix, because I guess we're gonna go to certain Pokemon that just don't need the recognition, and then not trying to be rude about that. Hello everyone. There's always going to be cards that you just don't need to just address. They're simple, there's no other ability to it, Ponytail. Here we go, got Rapid Dash. For 100 HP, again, Rapid Dash is one of the Pokemon always had like a free retreat. Having a 1 retreat is okay. Combustion for 30 for 1 fire, and 2 fire in the colors, Ring of Fire, 50 damage. The opponent's one is not burnt during your opponent's turn, you can't retreat. It's really doing 70 damage for 2 energy. It's not the best, so we're gonna call this bad to neutral or Great Ball to Premier Ball category. It's just not enough oomph to make this a viable card. See, Cyndaquil. Switch your deck up to 2 basic energy cards, roll into your hand, put in your hand. Again, another way to not play them correctly. Again, Koalava, we're just kind of skipping because it's not has no abilities or effects that's going to make it impactful. It's the next evolution to it. Now we got ourselves a Heatran V for 220 HP. He has Heat Burn. For 1 fire, 1 colors, your opponent's active one is not burnt, so 90 to 50. And then for 2 fire, 1 colors, you do Magnum Fall. 90 plus if you have a standing card in play, you do 9 more damage. Again, fire does have that save support where it'll take 20 hit for HP wise, but it has potential to go off faster. So I will put this card in a good neutral to good category. And then next we have the VMAX. So we still are supporting VMAX, and while we're introducing the V-Star category. So VMAX Heatran for 330 HP, which is solid. It has the ability of Magnet Gain. Once in your turn, if you have standard in play, you may heal 50 damage from this Pokemon. That is a great ability for a fire Pokemon right now. And I feel fire is going to be another type of category that's going to do really good. Because, you know, it's like a whole triangle scenario. You got, well, not complete triangle, but you're going to have Dark being a big meta with Psychic out there. And you're going to have Grass trying to support knocking out that Dark. And you're going to have Fire as a rogue that's going to take on the Grass supporter. So, a lot of decks are going to be kind of splashable. I think one of the decks that people need to consider right now is the Legendary Dogs, Suicune, Raikou, and NT. The reason why I say that is because the main decks that might be playing in the near future, those are going to be good ways to build those decks to get it countered. So, but for this attack, it does 2 fire, 1 colors, and it's max heat burst 180. Your opponent's action point is not burned, so it's 200 damage. It always has high retreat. Low HP. I'm going to play this card as an excellent Master Ball category because the ability is what helps out so much. 50 heal. He just healed himself 50 without doing anything else. That's a great card. And we have our basic Radiant Heatran. Now, for those who don't know, this is the introduction to Radiant cards. Yeah, okay. So they actually specify Radiant. This is my first time actually trying to observe one of these Radiant cards. It actually specifies in the text for Radiant for Pokemon rule, you can't have more than 1 Radiant card in your deck. Okay, so it's like if you play Star cards back in the day, you could only have 1 Star Pokemon in your deck, and that was it because they are very strong. So this Heatran has 160 HP, 1 Prizer, and for 1 fire and 2 colors, Raging Blast does 70 damage times the number. For each damage counter on this Pokemon. Wow, that is a very strong card. So you can use the stadium to do damage to yourself, at least 20, and do it again, so you have 40. So if you have 40 damage, you're doing 280? Wow, yeah, Radiant Heatran, everybody. This is going to be a very good card to play. Especially with fire support. Keep in mind, that's Master Ball excellent. These Radiant cards are actually really good. Oh, yeah, we're side up, guys. Spacing out. Special coin of hits, heal 10 damage from this Pokemon. I just got a headache reading that. I'm going to give you a bad Great Ball because you. That was just a headache just thinking about that right now. Next, we have our Golduck, and Golduck is always a unique card through the series. Not the top, not the worst, but so for Aqua Edge, that's 50 for 2 energies, for 1 water, 1 colors, and Entangled Dive for 2 water, 1 colors. Discard each player's active Pokemon and all cards attached to it. You choose a new active Pokemon first. Okay. I kind of wish you would say your opponent has to choose theirs first. So you kind of gridlock them in that sense. So you get the right combination, but this card is good. I want to give this card a neutral to good up to Ultra Ball status for this reason. Strategically, this is a good card because your opponent has some busted card that's just annoyance and you just can't destroy it. Play the Snow Moth. Yeah, the ice bug Pokemon that does the water acceleration. Plug it onto Golduck. and let Golduck collide, and they both get discarded. No one takes prize cards, but you got rid of a big threat, or vice versa. Use Golduck, take out the one Pokemon they have left, and you have one on your bench. And if they can't bring out new Pokemon, guess what? You win, because you're allowed to you can default in that direction. That's very interesting. Starmie V, no retreat cost, awesome. It's already in my Ultra Ball class. 190 HP is decent. Swift, that's 50. The attack is not affected by weakness or resistance or by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you attach a Turbo Energy, that only does 30. 2 Water Energies, that's 50, and just hits for 50. 2 Water Energy for Energy Spiral, that's 50 times the number of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So if your opponent's playing a heavy energy combination, at least 4 on the field, they're doing 200 damage with 2 water. That's not bad. They're going to put this in the Ultra Ball class. So, Swindle Piloswine, and Mamoswine. I love the Mamoswine. It's good artwork. Who drew that is amazing. I've never seen a really good Mamoswine deck until you play Pokemon Unite. Mamoswine is amazing on that one. But for the sake of playing, we do Blizzard for 80. And this deck does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Don't apply weakness resistance for bench Pokemon. Okay, and then Iceberg Press for 2 water, 2 colors. 170 discard energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. If any Pokemon can't attack. It's not the best Pokemon for how much retreat it has. This is a bad card all around. It's a great ball. It sounds like it's an awesome card, but it's just too much cost for what you can do. Now, Mantine, I read earlier, and I feel like this is between Premier and Ultra Ball because of this reason. It has an attack called Born Ashore. Put a basic Pokemon from either player's discard pile onto that player's bench. So you're choosing my bench or choosing your opponent's bench. So why do you think you would choose your opponent's bench? Let's just use an example. They have a Pokemon you can knock out next turn. You say use Heracross for example, but a Pokemon like Heracross would do like 30 damage. And they have a low cost Pokemon that they have no evolution to support. The idea is you could pull it out. You're not doing damage that turn, but you're doing it for a setup purpose. And vice versa. Say there's a Pokemon you need Vital. For example, I need to have Magnet because they knocked it out, and I need it on the field badly to keep the bench damage from being done. So, it's a neutral to Ultra Ball class card for that reason. Birch, nope. Woolcast. 120, high retreat for 3, mud shot for 80, that's too high for me. 1 water, 3 colors, Thrash. This attack does 120 plus flip a coin. If tails, attack does 60 more damage to itself. If heads, does 60 more damage. This is a terrible card. I'm sorry. This is going to be my first very bad card because it's so high energy cost for a flip coin effect to be in effect. This one, I'm only going to consider it being neutral to possibly good for this one reason alone. Regice is 130 HP. 130s are really good. Regi's gags. Touch your deck for basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Now, it doesn't say put in your hand, it says put onto your bench. Why is that important? Because if Regice could be put on the bench or put Regi Rock, Regi Steel, or Regigigas, there's a deck variation for those three, all 4 of those be on the field together. So yes, this is a good card. It would have been better if it said, please place one of each of this, and that. Now make this card even better. But we're not going to play further than that. For 2 water and 1 color, Blizzard Blind, 100 damage to 10 points of Pokemon V, it means V, VMAX, or V-Star. It can't attack during your opponent's next turn, but if they switch it from bench and go back out, it no longer applies. So that's why it's between neutral and good, or Premier Ball, Ultra Ball. Here we got ourselves a Glaceon. It has 110, 3 energy to do 120 with no other ability to add to it. Frostwall does 30 and prevents all damage done to Pokemon by evolution Pokemon. So the idea is you plays all second stage, first stage Pokemon, including V-Stars or any evolution. You are pretty much, you got them all locked down by just doing 30 chips. But outside of that, it's a bad card, bad to neutral. You're hoping for one thing to happen. Now here we go. We're talking about the big mama now. So Palkia V, if people have not heard yet, which I think is like the 1% in the world right now, has 2 good card attacks. Rule of Region. Search your deck for a standing card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Shuffle your deck. Then Hydro Break for 200. During next turn, you can't use that attack again. It's this next evolution makes this card broken. Star Portal. During your opponent's next turn, you may attach with 3 water energies from the discard pile to your water Pokemon any way you like. 3 attachments. Boom, boom, boom. Right off the bat, you're just going crazy over that. And not only that, though, for 2 water, it is subspace swell. 60 plus 20 for each of the for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent. This is a beef up version of Suicune, just way stronger than Suicune. It's just such a powerful card. It's a Master Ball, no doubt. Again, Oshawott and Dewott will skip. Basculin. Protect for 2 base Pokemon, put on into your bench. Again, a great card because it's colored, it has no energy requirement. So you play 4 of those things, get your setups, boom, here we go. Now this is a new Basculin in the regional form. Grudge Dive, 1 water energy for any of your Pokemon that were knocked out from damage from attack from opponents during last turn. This attack does 90 more damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is not confused. Okay, so basically it's the 120 stab for revenge plus confusion. We'll call it a neutral to good card. Now we kill deal. Again, to 10 plus 20 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon. Okay, fill your bench maximum. You're gonna do what? 110 for 2 energy. It's a bad card. I hate to say it. Now here we go. Radiant Greninja. Now, if you're not playing Fire, I believe this card is a master class because look, it is a meta for the typing. The staple card, it will be a staple in most decks because it's just one of. It's the easiest setup. Play on the field, discard water, discard energy, and you basically draw 2 cards. There's so many decks that can benefit from that. And if you're playing water, this is just a share of the having water. So overall, great card, no complaints. Bergamite, nope. Alagron, it's had a different variation of form. So ability is Massive Ice, does 30 less damage from attacks. And Mountain Gale for 2 water, 2 colors, does 100. If you have a stadium card, play this card has 120 more damage and discard stadium. So basically it's like Groundon back in the day. Or that wasn't Groundon EX Max or yeah, something like that. It just does straight 220. I mean, you have to discard your stadium, so this is just a very bad card. It's just, it would have more HP, it would make more sense. Here we go. Galarian Mr. Rhyme V. I love Mr. Rhyme. Surprising hand. Search your deck for up to 3 item cards, reveal them, and put them in your hand. And customize Kane 90. This one has tool attached to it. It does 9 more damage. For 2 water and 1 colorless, do potential 180. It's a decent card, but we're gonna call it neutral for this point. Next up, we have Luxray V. Luxray V. Let's see, 3 damage. Fill card in hand, discard a trainer, and you find that. So you discard a particular card by looking at your opponent's hand. And for 120, discard 2 energies from this Pokemon and they're not paralyzed. It's a neutral card because you can't lock a lot of cards up right now. Andres SSG, yo. Hey man. Oh, all is well. Yeah, I decided I was going to do this video-wise, or I was going to do it online. I figured, oh, people are up. I might as well just go ahead and give it a try. I hope you guys liked my little style. It just took a little bit of time. Make it better and better over time. We got Reggie Licky. So, and again, these cards are going number sequence order of the set. For one color, it says Electromagnetic Sonar. Put a training card from the discard pile in your hand. It's not bad. 2 electric, 1 colors. Targeted bolts to discard 2 electric energy off this, and that is 120 to 100 opponent's magic Pokemon. I don't like this card. It's too high retreat cost. I just don't find it being very vital. I mean, there could be a situation you charge it up to just target center for 120. I just don't see it as vital as you can play other teams, but more beneficial. So bad to neutral. The Hisuian Typhlosion. I love this card. Ghostfire. Here we go. Supernatural Orb. You must discard a Psychic Energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once per turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burnt and confused. Stage 2, 150. I wish I had 180. It'd be a little more helpful. Darkness Weakness is not what you want to have right now. Good to have Final Resistance, but it's not high enough HP to make it matter. For 1 Psychic, 1 colorless, Shadow Bind. For 90, during opponent's trying to defend Pokemon, you can't retreat. They're trying to halt it and force you to play a switch. If you can't play a switch, like Float Stone won't matter, or Free Retreat won't matter. They're just trying to force you to do a card to switch out. Just woke up at 8:21 here in Sweden. Oh, cool. And glad you can join. I've seen many people do reviews, but I decided to do one where I can show a display on the value of the cards. Hope you enjoy. So, Typhlosion is going to be a neutral. It's just not enough HP to make the difference, and if it was 1 energy, it would be better. It's just not, there's not enough necessary lockdown for that. Now, Typhlosion V card for 210 HP, not bad. For no energy, cost attack, you just snitch, your opponent's active Pokemon is not burnt. Okay. First attack, just start out there, hit a 20. Petrifying Flame, 120, choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Opponent reveals that card and throws it back in the deck. Okay, you know, what was it? Not Chandelier, but Mimikyu VMAX did something similar to that. Now, V-Star is 260 again. I don't like the Dark Weakness. Dark's going to be played a lot. It's going to be very scary to have. For V-Star power, Shivering Star. If the opponent's active Pokemon has exactly 4 damage counters on it, that Pokemon is now knocked out. I can see playing this with like Inteleon, the one that does the 20 snipes, but you're gonna have such a hard time doing its attack. Is it really worth playing this card? That's the problem I have right there. So we'll see how the potential can be. For 2 Psychic and 1 colors, Hollow Flame 180, put 3 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. I just don't see it that vital. I'm not a fan of this card, so I'm going to call it neutral to good. Now, the Toku Tech, Koku Kiss. Go from 10 to 30 to 120 damage. They have 1 retreat each, but what's interesting is that Touch of Happiness, Voice of Happiness, and Shine of Happiness. I'm kind of glad they made them separate each time. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during the turn, you may heal 10 damage from your active Pokemon. Next one is heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon. Next one is to heal 90. Play these with little scoop ups if you want to have some fun. And you're just doing a constant heal power every other turn and try to build up. Again, depending on how you build your deck, it could be beneficial, it may not. I'll let you guys be judgment, because I'm just going to judge it as a premier ball. Mischievous and Miss Magus. Miss Magus, 90 HP, which is great for a low ball. Ominous Pros. Second energy, your opponent reveals their hand. If they have 4 or more cards in their hand, choose all but 3, and then your opponent shuffles the chosen cards back in their deck. This is awesome. So if they played and just drew galore for next turn, you're going to go, I want to see your hand, and I get to choose, if you have 4 more cards, I get to choose all but 3 of them, and the rest of them go back into your deck. Great card. For the chosen cards go back in the deck. Oh, it's even better. So they have 4. Yeah, so you did Marnie, they have 4. You can look at their hand, pick 3, show them back, and now down to 1 card. So that it could be potentially good. We're gonna call this Ultra Ball class. Yeah, you're just there for the first one. That's all it is. Routes. Okay, here we go. The Glide. 6 HP, which is promising. Has an ability called Buddy Catch. Once in your turn, you may search your deck for a supporter and reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's a very strong power. Second Pokemon, you have a good ability here. If you evolve this and keep it on your bench, you can instant draw power, instant boss's order, instant what situation with heal factor, whatever it is you want to do, it brings out instantly and play at will. This card is Ultra Ball class. You can skip up to Drifloon at 110, 1 retreat, 1 energy, does 50, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's best Pokemon. I love the fact it says puts, not do damage. It bypasses a lot of stuff. We're going to give this one a Premier Ball as well. UXE. Wise Guidance. Search your deck for a card and put it in your hand and show your deck. I don't like those, so we'll call this a Great Ball. The Misprint. If you ever use the X-Play, Pokemon have no weaknesses. I don't like. They always have a combination between these 3. I was never a fan of them, so we'll kind of skip them. Excuse me. Now, this card, I believe, will see play, especially on those ones that do attack and they switch. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevents all effects of that card done to your bench basic Pokemon. This card is that active. They can't boss order you. They can't any effect whatsoever to your bench. They're being bring them out because you have to target the bench or bring them out. So I know there's a couple cards out there when it attacks they switch. This is gonna be an awesome card for that because you know that they can't hurt your bench as long as you got these cards in play. So you just play 2 or 3 in your deck, and they're like your hero shows yesterday with 90 HP, but they're basic and they take that hit instead of your attacker, and that's a key. So this is the case to be Ultra to Master Ball for single prizes. White Deer. 140 HP, okay. 4 stage 1. Herd Gout. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards, or draw a card. Okay. For 2 colors, externally, if it's 40 plus your single number of cards your opponent has in hand, this is 80. This is basically the Yamago's attack, but psychic. If you're doing 100 damage, if he uses turbo. First time Growlers is going to be a fighting Pokemon. Here we go. No energy, flip a coin of heads. Your opponent next turn for all damage and bite 30. Arcanine's the fighting variation. Scorching Horn 80. If your Pokemon has any fire energy attached to it, does 80 more damage. And the Pokemon's active Pokemon is not burnt. I'm noticing burnt has been one of the key factors they're saying a lot in this set, so that's because I Volcano from Arceus Legends. Machamp V 220. Love the fact it's not 210, 220. Revenge Buster for fighting any colorless. If this Pokemon had, if your bench Pokemon have any damage counters, it does 50 more damage. So 100 if you have any damage counters in your bench, which is good. Sex Toss, 140, 2 fighting, 1 colors. But it's the Mega one, the V Max Q1 Localizer. 330 HP, 3 energy cost, 1 fighting, 1 colors. Revenge Burst. If any bench Pokemon have any damage counters on it, it does 140 more damage. Wow. This thing just hits 220 if you have a Pokemon bench that has at least 1 damage counter. That's gross. G-Max Cheese Strike 240. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Chai Strike. Okay. Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo. 110 HP. 2 retreats. Yeah, vamos. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, it has no retreat. Okay, so it takes damage to go away. And to 2 fighting energies, double edge is 90 and does 30 to itself. It is a bad card. You're not using it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about it. You're just not going to use it. My apologies. I just had a little technical right there. Rampardos 170, Jurassic Hammer 242 fighting energies. This one has 3 or fewer cards in hand. This deck does nothing. Interesting. Well, this is a very interesting card. The Cardio V 210, 2 colors, so scratch your opponent's 50, discard such energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, and then Cyclone K for 120. It's okay. The V Star is the real master in that, but we'll explain that a little later on. Hippopotamus does 100. Hypodon does 150, and for 1 fighting with 3 colors, does 180 damage, discards 2 energy from its Pokemon. It's just not worth it. That's great ball status. Radiant Hawlucha. This card is Master Ball. All I have to tell you is Big March. As long as Pokemon is on your bench of your Pokemon attacks you 30 more damage. So you basically have this plus a belt against any of the VMAX Pokemon, and you're just hitting damage. The alternate form for Decidueye, for no energy cost, does 30 times for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So they already take damage over time. You can multiply that by 20. So, 30 damage for each of those damage counters they have. And then you can do 80 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which I don't necessarily like to do. It's the first attack is what makes it more important. The V Pokemon version, Mountain Hunt, search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, or your hand, and then shuffle your deck. That's great. You put things in your hand, but if they know that, and then when you remove it, this is the way to do it. Marnie or Judge. In that sense, this is a neutral card to good. The V Star on the hand, during your opponent's during your turn, you may draw cards. So you have 8 cards in hand. Amazing draw power sequence, and then Somersault Feathers for 1 fighting and 2 colors. 160, and you may discard up to 3 energies from your hand. This deck card does 30 more damage for each card, and you discard it in this way. Okay, neutral to good Ultra Ball status. Cleaver. This is the Scyther's alternate level up form. Does Root for 10. This has 31 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, not bad. And 150 for 2 colors and 1 fighting. This Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. Not bad. Another variation of it for 2 coins. Now this one I see potentially being put into a deck because it knocks out Pokemon. So 2 coins of both of them are heads. Your opponent's Pokemon is now knocked out. You play this with the stadium that refill coins, and you increase your chances of gratefully getting those lucky flips on the key aspect to get knockouts. So Pokemon you should knock out. First second is a V Pokemon also. The 210. It does cut for 40 for 1 fighting and for 2 fighting on colors. It does Axe Slash for 150 and discard energy to this Pokemon. If you do, discard energy after bonus that's Pokemon. Quillfish, again, is one of these cards I feel it's going to be really worth checking out because of the evolution. There's two versions. I call it the Poison version deck, and it's going to be the pot, and the other one's going to be a more attack driven. So for no energy, Spider Rush does 10 until you flip it, you get tails. This deck does 10 more damage for each heads. Funny. The Overquill does Tormenting Poison. Your opponent's next one's not poison. They do 5 damage counters on this Pokemon set of 1. So for no energy cost, you just poison things. The only downside is that future Pokemon have that energy to get rid of poison, so these decks are going to get hurt because of that reason. It also takes 1 dark and 1 colors to do pinning for 50, and for the next turn, the Pokemon can't retreat. The other version I find a little more effective has 1 attack to really focus on, and it's 1 dark for 30 press. 30, if you have at least 3 dark energies in play, this attack does 9 more damage. So if you mix this up with, like, say, the Weezing, for example, and as long as you got the energies out there, you could be hitting for 120 for 1 energy. 1 prices is another look at, because you add a choice spell to this thing, you're doing 300 damage to Mew. Sneasel is something to look at, but the new form of Sneasel, I'm about to move my chair, has an ability called Carry and Climb. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon has 2 less retreat costs. That's a great ability. We're going to see how far we can get from there. I had that one. I would consider that being neutral and good because it's stage 1. It's dark. Dark is going to have that support it needs in the future. Astral V for no energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not poison. Okay. And Dry Claw, this attack does 8 damage for each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. That will be interesting by itself if it had 1 energy, but it's only 2. And the HP is not high enough that I like to recognize it, but I love the fact that it's for retreat. Puccina, it's okay, but it's the Mayana is the one that you want to look after. So, Mayana, if there's any VMAX Pokemon in play, if your opponent has any VMAX Pokemon in play, the attack, Wild Tackle, has 3 less energy costs, basically because of free attack. Does 160 damage. Just to yourself, this card is going to keep Mew at bay. Master class all the way. Absol for 100 HP, 1 retreat, and of course Grass is a weakness. Swirling Disasters, attack does 10 damage to each opponent's bench Pokemon for 1 energy. I don't like it because we had a Coco that does 2 for spread 20 damage across everything. I just don't like that. Crowrin, if you attack Pokemon already has damage counters on it, it does 50% more damage. Okay, you use first attack for the setup, and second attack to do 120 hits. It's not bad. Next up, we have our Darkrai V. Darkrai is the main card everybody's looking forward to, and it's not because it's normal, it's because of this bad boy. This bad boy is the Master Ball right off the bat because of HP, attack, everything about this card is so darn good. Star Base. So for V-Star Power, if you chose to use it, during your turn you may put 2 item cards from your discard pile to your hand. You will use 1 V-Star Power in the game. So if you're playing the new Dark Patch that's coming out, it's the same exact Dark Patch where Black and White era came out, you can play 2 of them, pop 2 energies back, use the ability, you have 2 more, and you essentially attach 4 to 5th energy will be a hard charge energy down the field. That is awesome. There's other combinations you can do, but that's one of the basic ones you can think of. And then after 2 colorless energy, it does Dark Pulse. 30 plus, this like does 30 more damage for each dark energy attached to all your Pokemon. So you play this Weezing, double the dark energy that's on the field, and you're just going to be hitting like a lot. That is an awesome card. Master class all the way. Samurai, you may discard a card from your hand in order to reduce ability once you turn or draw your cards. The stage 2, I'm going to call this a neutral to bad. It's just not enough for that level. No. Samurai V 220. Shadow West 180. Discard energy off from this Pokemon. Oh, you're taking your own energy off. And discard to 2 Pokemon tools from your opponent's discard. Oh, yeah. No, the bad card. V-Star, Moon Cleaver. During your turn, you may put 4 damage counters when you put a Pokemon. Okay, so if you have a potential setup, you're like, I need to knock this thing out. Let's place 4, boom, knockout. Still do my attack for 2 Dark. Merciless Blade does 110, plus your opponent active Pokemon already has damage counters on it. It does 110 more damage, so it's 220. Not bad. We got our Nickets for 60. In their Thievul. Let's see, Baffling. If your opponent has 2 of your prize cards remaining, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevents all effects of that card done to your bench Pokemon V. Wow. Okay. That's really good, actually. So much of the targeted cards this comes to mind. That's going to be a very good card. Ultra to Master Class. Let's get the Magnemites, the Magneton, straight to Magnezone. This Magnezone has a very unique ability. Once per turn, you may look at the top 6 cards, not 4 or 5, but 6 of your deck. If you have any mental energies attached, those mental energies that you find there to your Pokemon any way you like. There's a card like this in the past for electric Pokemon, and it's just a great card to help you get those energies stack off that you need to. The rest of the cards you show back in your deck. Brilliant card overall. Especially if you have like 16 energies in your deck and you just thin your deck out, accelerating, and try to get your high attacks going off. It will see some play for Metal Pokemon. So I'm going to call this neutral to ultra class. Reggie Steel, search your deck for a mixed Pokemon, put it on your bench, great attack. Those Reggie Gates are smart. I just wish they allowed these at least 2, make it faster. Heavy Slam does 220 and attack does 50 less damage for each colors in your opponent's active retreat cost. So if it's free, you have to hit them hard. If not, you're gonna has more retreat cost to it. You're gonna have to do less damage. Sheldon, hard hit. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, Basculon. So Primal Fortress, it basically has 30 resistance from all V Pokemon, and has 160 HP. Iron Tackle does 180 for 3. That's a bad card. I'm sorry, that's very bad. The bad. Bronzor. The Bronzon, there we go. Bronzon has heat proof, which I just had in this past. Prevents all Pokemon done to this Pokemon by attacks from your fire Pokemon. So if you're playing a fire deck, you want a 1-1 of this. You know you're playing pure fire. You throw this out there, and they're gonna have the most crappiest day against you. This, by fact, is ultra class because of that reason. Now comes distortion of time and space, the 1/2 of those categories. Dialga V. Now Dialga V basically is okay, but it's the V-Star. Both its V-Star power and its regular attack are good. So regular attack does Metal Blast, 40 plus 40 more damage for each metal energy attached to this Pokemon. So you stack them up and start pew 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 knocking things out like crazy. So this with Magnezone, it actually would be a pretty interesting concept. For 4 metal and 1 color, so 500 energy total, you use your V-Star power, which is one you call Star Chronos. Oof, kind of like Kronos as a Guyver. But anyhow, you get to take another turn after this one. You skip the checkout phases, but you basically get another turn. That is amazing. You knock something out, draw a card, play the supporter next turn. Bisharp. Venture Cut does 30 for each Pokemon. For each counter on. Oh, yeah. This thing does 30 more damage for each damage counter on all of your bench partners. Okay, so baby guys out there, keep one active that's evolved. This is a bad to neutral card, or Great Ball to Premier, because potentially you can do more damage, just not the way it's set up to be. Okay, so the Garchomp, because the VMAX is there and this is a base card. Oh, sorry. Too much energy cost for his attacks. It's not the best card. No weakness or resistance. Retreat costs nothing, but for 3 energy, 4 energy for 1 water, 2 fighting, 1 colors. It's got 3 energy and its attack is 220 to any of your bench, any of your opponent's Pokemon, active or bench. It's not good. Reggie Drago, here we go. Dragon's Horde. Once your turn, if this Pokemon is active spot, you may draw cards to have 4 cards in hand. You can't activate more 1 Dragon's head per turn. Okay. One enough in a deck. It's there to just give you that little plus power that you need. Eevee. Do we have an Eevee that does a good evolution? Let's turn. You may play a Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon other than Eevee. Oh, what? Once a turn, you may play a Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your other Eevee. You may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it on the Pokemon it evolves. What? You may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon. Okay, so basically you evolve your bench Pokemon. So this could go off first turn. You could. This is a Master Ball. You evolve a bench, and then you evolve itself. Yeah, that card is Masterclass by its ability by itself. Hoo hoo. Sand Sentry. Basic energy attached to your basic Pokemon can be discarded. Great. So I'm going to give you a neutral to Ultra Ball. Knocked out. 100. One retreat. Air Slash. Discard energy from this Pokemon. Reveal the hand. These cards just Pokeball, Great Ball series. Excuse me if you hear some noises, because I'm just making sure that I have all the cards correctly while I'm looking at. Teddiursa, 70 HP, gather food. Flip a coin of heads, put an iron card from your discard pile onto your hand. Good for structure deck purposes. Ursaring. Continue to slap. Flip a coin until you get tails. It takes 40 damage for each heads. If it was 80 plus 240, great, but it's just not strong enough. Bad to neutral card. Ursulina, this is a new alternate form. Actually, it's the first time too. Pete Hunt. Put the 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. That is a great ability. That ability. 2 cards from your discard pile. That is basically. What's that dark Pokemon that has the crystals and eyes? It was a big thing back then for darks, because if you picked up items, you just kept on abusing it. So I'm going to give this card a Ultra to Master, because it has the potential to do some really wonky stuff. Stantler, Guard Press, 30. During opponent's turn, attack this 30 damage. Miltank is a Master off the bat. It's basically the Sidgewire in a basic form. It has Miracle Body, prevent all damage to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon V. That includes V, VMAX, and V Star. And this attack for 2 energy is Route. 10 plus 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if they flood the field and you keep one of them in your deck, Miltank, let them fill the field, and you go BAM, you're going to make their day horrible. Glameow. Let's skip it and go straight to Perugly. Body sound for 30. Flip a coin of heads. Nah, that's not a good card. This is a very bad card. Chariot. Another bad card. Here we go. Regigigas. I want to say this would be good. I really wish it had the 180 with an HP, but 150 is okay. Ancient Wisdom. Once your turn, if you have a Reggie Rock, Ice, and Steel, Reggie Electric, and Reggie Crackle in play, you may search your deck of 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. You have to play... What? Okay. I want to talk about a card that you want to say has a requirement. Oh, it's hard as a requirement. You need Rock, Ice, Steel, Electro, and Drago. The other 5 variations for Regigigas. So you can attach 3 energies from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So the whole purpose is to have one of everything on the field. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. You have to have one of each on the field for this to go off, and you're just playing rainbow energies enough to play off the big attacks you want to do. God, that's a lot. And the 5 energy Gigaton Break does 150. And Pokemon actual one is a V Max, that's 150. I wish it was 4 energy, it just makes more sense, but that's such a good power hit. We're gonna put this in the Premier and Ultra Ball class because there's gonna be a deck put out there. People are gonna laugh at it. Okay, Burberry is just I like to call it the normal Ice Psychic Bird. For no energy cost, it's sideways. That's 30 damage for each energy touch your Pokemon in play. Active Pokemon in play, and Slashing Strike is 120 during your opponent's turn. It's a great ball to a Pokeball. Now this card is a Master Ball for certain decks. And one of the main decks, if you have not played it yet, is Pachirisu Toolbox. You're basically attaching all the tools to your Pokemon that do more damage and don't get discarded. But Ringu can pick up 2 if it's active. So you basically attach a balloon to this guy, let him sit on your bench, and when he's active, search out for tools. So you're thinning your deck out, and you're also accelerating his attack power. When your V is Frontier Road, once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may move any number of energy from your other Pokemon to it. Okay, this right here is basically tag team from the Machamp Prime and Gold Silver. Psychic Shield Bash, 40 times the number of energy attached to this Pokemon. So basically, you have it on bench, you throw it out there, you summon all energy, slap it onto it, and you have 40 for each of those energies. So if you have 6 energies on the field, you could be hitting 240. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now we're going to get into the supported card. That was all the Pokemon that I am aware of. Now there are also the alternate forms, which I'll show pictures of. But again, we're just kind of going off what we can find. So here we go. Adaman. You need play this card only if you discard 2 mental energy cards from your hand. Search your deck for 2 cards. Ugh. Could be good because you have Saucer, or we'll call this a neutral Ultra Ball. Yeah, there's another way I can put that card. Canceling Cologne. Until the end of your turn, opponents after Pokemon have no abilities. Wow, okay. That's gonna be a 1 or 2 of. That is just a surprise card and I have to play. That's just gonna be so good to play. It's just ability shutdown for until your turn ends, so you can stop them from doing extra resistance or have to prevent damage from certain Pokemon. It stops that. It lets you get through it. Chowi, each player reveals their hand and draws 3 cards. That's a starter beginner playing for neutral and bad. Celine, flip 2 coins, put a number of cards, put a number of cards up to the number of heads from your discard pile to the top of your deck in the order. Okay, not bad. That's going to be bad to Great Ball to Premier. Dark Patch is Master for the sole purpose of Dark Pokemon. Add 1 Dark Energy from discard pile to 1 bench Dark Pokemon. It's just insane. We have Energy Lotto. Now this card's been playing multiple times in the past. You draw the top 7 cards to your deck. And if you do, you need to shuffle your cards back in the deck. So, yeah, it's just to be one of those things where, sorry, I saw my phone going off. I forgot to put it on voice. Anyways, Energy Lotto is a good card in a sense. Someone call it a Premier to Ultra Ball status. Because you look top 7 and you reveal any energy card, it can be special or regular, and put it in your hand. It's a 1/1 thing, hopefully. Feather Ball. Set your deck for a Pokemon that has no retreat. This is one I was talking about before. Some Pokemon have free retreats. This card is a 1/1. It's easily a Master Ball because of the category it needs to be. Gape Jaw Bog. Whenever either player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand into the bench, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. That is gross. I can think of a lot of fun, unique ways to make that very useful for yourself. For your Pokemon that need the damage counters in your bench to do more damage. The Pokemon like Heatran that benefit from the damage we put onto it. We're going to call this Ultra Ball status. Here it is, the wannabe version of Welder, but Grass Pokemon, I love it. Draw 2 cards. If you drew any cards this way, if you drew any cards in this way, attach up to 2 Grass Energy cards from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. Oh, bench! Wow. So okay, so you draw 2 cards, and you get to attach. Once you do that, you attach 2 Grass to only 1 bench Pokemon. Doesn't have to be a Grass Pokemon either, so keep that in mind. Neutral to the Primal Ball to Ultra Ball status. It's good. I would consider Master Ball for Grass Pokemon. It's a fairly good support for Grass. Grants. I'm gonna say this card to me is Ultra Ball by itself. During your turn, your 5 Pokemon attacks do 30 more damage. On top of a belt, it would be 60. To the opposing active Pokemon during your turn, if this grant card is in discard pile, this is what makes this card excellent for fighting Pokemon. You basically can pick this card up by discarding 2 cards from your hand and from your discard pile. That's an awesome supporter. Gutsy Pickaxe. Put a top card in your deck. If this card is Fight Energy, attached to one of your bench Pokemon. If not, Fight Energy, put it in your hand. Okay. So you run this with the basic Rangaroo setup. Your Fight Energy on top. Play this, guaranteed it, attach energy on top of your normal attachments. Not bad. Ooh, got a Heavy Ball. Look at the face down prizes you may reveal a basic Pokemon you find there and put it in your hand, and then put the ball as a face down prize card if you don't reveal a basic Pokemon, put this card in the discard pile and shuffle your face down prize cards. Ugh, that's gross. So basically, your Heavy Ball is a way for you to choose a random prize card. Okay, so if you know you have a Pokemon in there that you need to replace it with, Heavy Ball switches it, leaves it there once you put the cards back down. So it allows you to see what the prizes are, which area prizes are at, and you pick up a Pokemon and replace it with it. We're going to call this a Ultra Ball to Master Ball. I can see a one of it in the deck as a nice tech to make sure you absolutely have the key Pokemon you need. So we got to keep in mind of constantly your your Pokemon numbers. Irida. Search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card and put it in your hand. Basically, water decks just get such good support. And Teleon. Basically, Teleon. The Drizzle. They are going to be so good. This is Masterclass. And we're getting there, folks. I'm getting close to the end here. So we got Jubilife Village. Once during each person's turn, they may shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 5 cards. And if you do, your turn ends. That's not bad if you've done a lot of stuff and you're playing a stall deck or you don't have your attack set up yet. And he's like, you know what? Fresh hand, do it. End turn, go. Not bad. Let's see. Commando. Choose a card from your hand and discard the other cards. If you do, draw 4 cards. Oof. Wait, choose a card in your hand and discard the other cards. If you do, draw 4 cards. Okay. This is interesting because, say if you have 1 card in your hand with this, you play it, and we'll go, I'm going to keep this card. Now you draw 4. So I'm not discarded it. I just can't play that turn, so I want to go +4. It's a pretty more ball. It's situational. Dark decks can benefit, make it ultra to master, but I'm going to consider it premier ultra right now. Roxanne! Sorry. You can use this card only if your opponent has 3 or fewer bites remaining. Each player shuffles their hand in their deck. Player playing this supporter gets to draw 6, your opponent draws 2 cards. Very good, but situational. I don't see a 4 in the deck. I can see a 1, maybe 2. So we'll call this a Premier to Ultra Ball. Spicy Seasoned Curry. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burnt. Heal 40. Your active Pokemon is now burnt. Heal 40 damage from it. I think there were certain Pokemon we talked about that their attack increases, like Machamp, based off what status conditions it has on it. So there's a reason why this is going to be pretty beneficial over time. Super effective glasses. These are ones I've been waiting for. When applying weakness to damage from attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to done to your opponent's active Pokemon, apply it as a ×3. Kelsleon changes the type based on which basic energy it has onto it. So if hit for weakness, you hit every weakness for everything in the game as long as it has a weakness. Awesome card. I can see a 2 in the deck. That is my tool as a Ultra to Master ball class. Oh, here's our sweet honey. Choose one of your Pokemon and then flip a coin. Until you get tails, for each heads, heal 40 damage from it. Wow. You know what the sad part about this card is? You don't get the guarantee of the first heal. It's not like the normal 21s and you keep on flipping after that. This card just says choose one Pokemon, you flip a coin until you get tails. So if you get the tails in the first place, this card does nothing for you. But you keep on doing it over and over again until you get tails. I would say this will run in a Blissey deck. That'd be very interesting. So yeah, the Vastus Queens is a very interesting deck to play. I will definitely say that. Switch cart. Oh, that little red wagon. Switch your active basic Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. If you do, heal 3 damage from your Pokemon you move to your bench. Okay, so it's switch with heal. But that's Ultra Ball. Temple of Sinnoh. Bum, bum, bum. All such energies attached to your Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, provides 1 colorless energy and it has no other effects. Now understand this, people. Everybody needs to understand this. My special energies and my opponent's special energies, any start that counts as 1 energy or 2 energies or 3 energies, only count as 1 and have no effects. It's a great way to shut down those pesky decks like that. Trekking shoes. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put a card into your hand. If you don't, discard a card and draw a card. This is an acro bike without having both cards in hand to discard. You have to look at only one card to choose if you're going to accept the next card or not. Well, you actually get to draw it, so it's a merge. Definitely, I'll take an acro bike. You just can't have both at once. So. Yeah, so if you don't like the card, you discard it and you get to draw. If you do like it, you keep it. Not bad. It's a Ultra Ball class. Identify fossils are always going to be neutral to me. They're just the fossils. This card is going to be like that pessimistic tag that if you go first turn, or on your first turn, you're basically playing 2 base Pokemon for every one of those prize tickets. This is Wait and See Turbo. If you can go second and it's your first turn, search your deck for a basic energy card attached to one of your Pokemon. It's just, it can be Ultra Class to Master Class depending on how fast your deck can run. Next is Zaizu. Draw cards, you have one more card in your hand than your opponent. That could be potentially really good. We'll call that Premier. And that was card 159 out of the 189. That was all the main cards, guys. Wow, we did it. I really appreciate the time that people spent just listening to me. The rest of the cards, I'll just kind of show for a second. These are the cards that are the full art versions of cards that I talked about. There's no point in me repeating these cards because they are cards we discussed. Again, you got your full arts, you got your full art trainers, your hyper cards. All generally really nice cards. And now you get your gold cards. So you have your Palkia, Dialga, Samurott. We get Choice Belt is gold. Village and the Peak are also gold. And we get ourselves a double turbo energy gold now. And we also get introduced to the character cards, which is quite a bit. So if you're not familiar with the character cards, doesn't count towards your rarity. If you buy a box, you'll get 6 of the main, 6 to higher main cards. These cards could potentially come as like your rare, so keep that in mind. Outside of that, I think these card artworks are really good. This is a nice way, I noticed, to go from base of Shield and Sword. Shield and Sword is kind of a very interesting time I would say for myself, because I want to look back and I want to consider Shield and Sword my COVID era for Pokemon. Because we're about to start into that season, and then all of a sudden COVID kicked in. And the majority of the time, we haven't really done much except for these regionals, a couple regionals that now Rick could go to. So, I hope these cards do get noticeable and playable a little bit more. There was a lot of potential that didn't get noticed at the beginning, but this picks up a lot of the cards overall. So, I hope you guys had a good time. I sure had a good time explaining a lot of these cards to you guys. Don't feel free to like and subscribe to my videos. I do many different qualities of videos. Also want to make sure you guys know that my mom's basement, which is my LLC company, the next couple months will be starting up soon. And when that does, I'll be able to start selling TCG product. And so when that comes up, I'll let you guys know. But until then, I hope you guys have fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And have a good time. Good night, everybody.